Subscribe. MTL World, at World 1 YouTube channel. Chapter 224 Take Action. 3rd of Volume 6. Blank. Luo He is so domineering. Silver Moon God King, Sea Demon God King, Tianyi God King, Hansen Kingdom Lord, Anshan Lord, they were all a little confused. They are all at the 2nd level of the God King, and also including a lord from the Legion of Destruction. The God King of Luo He didn't take them seriously at all. He actually wants to completely monopolize the entire territory of the Food Kingdom. He also asked the 5 of them if they had any objections. Luo He, you are too domineering. The leader of the Hansen Kingdom angrily shouted. He is a life and death friend of the Tianmu Kingdom's Purple Wood God King. Most of the forces on the origin continent have to give him some respect. The Lord Anshan, eyes were cold, just observing Luo Feng. Luo He God King, the 5 of us are here, but you want to monopolize the entire Food Kingdom. Isn't this too much? Silver Moon God King said, in my opinion, we can have a good discussion and divide the Food Kingdom. Each of the 3 parties will take a part. The Silver Moon God King has realized that something is wrong. Lord Dark Sky, Lord Anshan, is already extremely powerful and represents the Legion of Destruction. Note. Anshan meaning, and Dark, Tian, sky or heaven. Luo He was able to entangle the leader of the Tiankan Kingdom when he first became the God King. Now that he is in the 2nd level of the God King, his strength is even more unpredictable. Silver Moon God King no longer expects to monopolize the Food Kingdom. Hansen Kingdom and Daohe Sector both neighbors of the Food Kingdom, and both have only one 2nd level God King. The 30 neighboring Chaos States belong to you. Silver Moon God King said, the rest Chaos State belongs to the 2nd level of our 3 God Kings. There are 135 Chaos States. Luo He and I each occupy 30 Chaos States. You want to occupy 75. Lord Hansen laughed angrily. Yinyu, don't you think that's too beautiful? The average of the 3 of us at the 2nd level of the God King is only 20 or 30 Chaos States, which is not much, the Silver Moon God King also said. Hansen Kingdom is already a 2nd-rate country. If we get some Chaos States this time, it will be big enough. God King Tianyi said with a frown. I want at least 50 Chaos States. Lord Hansen said. When they reach the 2nd level of the God King and can't help each other, they usually negotiate to decide on the distribution of benefits. Everyone. 5 silver-clad Luo Feng stood in the distance, looking at them. I made it very clear that the entire Food Kingdom belongs to our Daohe sect. There is no room for negotiation. The Silver Moon God King and Hansen Kingdom Lord, who had already begun negotiations, both looked at Luo Feng in shock. If you don't agree, the old rules will be decided by strength. Luo Feng looked at them, you can invite friends. I will send as many clones as you invite friends. It is guaranteed to be one-on-one. Arrogant. This Luo He. Silver Moon God King and Hansen Kingdom Lord were all shocked and furious. This Luo He is too much, trying to hog everything for himself. Not even a sip of soup for them. I'll give you 10 breaths of time to consider. If you don't leave, I'll take action. The 5 silver-clad Luo Fengs looked at them coldly. This confrontation in the Food Kingdom, where 5 God Kings at the 2nd level of the God King gathered together to determine the ownership of the Food Kingdom, and naturally attracted the attention of all forces in the origin continent. The leader of the Hansen Kingdom is so mediocre, it is not easy to protect his own kingdom. Are you still trying to occupy part of the Food Kingdom? Emperor Chu watched the battle from a distance. Yinyu has 2 helpers, is he worthy of competing with my disciple? In terms of strength, in terms of deterrence, in terms of strength and background, his disciple Luo Feng surpassed the Lord of Hansen Kingdom and the Silver Moon God King. In Di Chu's view, with his disciple Luo Feng's strength, it was already too small to only occupy the 20 Chaos States. Taking over the territory of the Food Kingdom could only barely meet Luo Feng's strength. But this time, Luo He should be able to reveal some of his strength. Di Chu watched with a smile. The last time he released his sword light, he defeated an ordinary 2nd-level God King. This proves that his level is extremely high. But it's obviously not his full strength. The disciple progressed too fast, and Di Chu didn't know exactly how strong his disciple was. Tian Kun was killed, and his neighbors and the Silver Moon God King began to plot to seize his kingdom. Di Yan also saw this scene, and he naturally looked down upon the fight for the territory of the Food Kingdom. What Di Yan cares more about is the murderer of Tian Kun. Everyone in the origin continent knows that Tian Kun is following me. Di Yan's eyes were cold. The murderer didn't care about my face at all, and still killed Tian Kun and the three of them. This murderer. Di Yan waved his hand, and in front of him, the image of a man in a black robe and a gold mask appeared. This man in a black robe and a gold mask had a profound aura, and contained great terror. Who are you? Di Yan frowned. Just seeing this image, Di Yan felt a huge threat. Fengdu, the being from the Shadow Heaven realm, the 5 Earth God Kings, the Fire Ancestor, and the Clan Master, none of them brought me such a threat. Di Yan observed. You are hidden very deep, but as long as you care about resources, and if you take action time to time again, you will eventually be exposed. Di Yan then continued to watch the battle. This Luo He is very talented. If he lets it go, he might become another clan master. Di Yan looked at this scene. It's a pity that Di Chu is protecting him, and Di Fu seems to be very optimistic about this Luo He. The Emperor Fu asked Luo Feng to guard Tianzhu realm, and his attitude was very clear. Di Fu, as a member of the royal family, he prefers idol practitioners. But Di Yan is hostile to all idol practitioners. Unfortunately, even the ancestors of the two countries have a certain degree of goodwill towards idol practitioners, and he cannot change it. Every powerful person on the origin continent, including the Queen of Fengdu, Emperor Guishu, King Wuxia, and the Lord of Yushui Kingdom who were close to Luo Feng, were all watching the battle. Even Chuying and Chuyu also used the Yangfeng Guild Hall to record the battle to watch this confrontation. I don't know how much strength my disciple will reveal this time. The mountain-sitting guest, Zuo Shanke, also watched with a smile with the help of the images recorded by the Thunder Chamber of Commerce. At this moment, invisible waves are already clashing in the high-altitude area around the Shiguo King's capital. The power of the world is suppressing all directions, but there are also forces from many fields such as destructive power, icy breath, and mighty water flow that are resisting. At this moment, the three of them, Silver Moon God King, Hansen Kingdom Lord, and Dark Sky Lord are all ready to fight. It's impossible for them to leave in despair after just a few words from Luo Feng. Luo He, let's divide the Food Kingdom together, it will be good for everyone. Silver Moon God King continued to speak. The time for 10 breaths is up. 5 silver-clad Luo Feng stretched out their hands at the same time, and a sword light appeared in their palms. This sword shines. At first glance, it looks completely black, but the edges are glowing with blue. The mixed whole never quenches the light. It was nurtured by Luo Feng's inner world. The stronger the inner world, the more sword light can be accumulated, and the 100 holes immortal light can be condensed to a higher level. After reaching the 24-phase form world life form, the inner world of the 5 clones has become much stronger at this moment. Although it is not as good as the real body, it has some characteristics of the ultimate life form. One can imagine the power of the immortal light in the mixed whole, created by such a world inside the body. The three of them, the Silver Moon God King, the Hansen Kingdom Lord, and the Dark Sky Lord were instinctively frightened when they saw the 5 dark sword lights in the palms of Luo Feng's 5 clones. Go! 5 silver-clad Luo Feng released their swords at the same time. Woohoo! The moment the 5 jet black sword lights flew out, they had already touched the second level of the 5 God Kings. Too fast, there is no way to hide. Poof! The Lord of Hansen was split in 2 from the waist and abdomen in an instant, with a look of horror in his eyes. The light of this knife has become huge, and the first knife was instantly annihilated. Lord Hansen had a small reserve of half of his divine power, and continued to be cut with a flash of light. Wouldn't 2 more strikes kill me completely? Lord Hansen was so frightened that he immediately gave up his true body. His resurrection carrier far away in the Tianmu kingdom had already awakened. The immortal light of the mixed whole. It pursues the goal of killing everything. While pursuing the ultimate edge, it is inferior in terms of erosion and annihilation. Generally, it requires multiple cuts and annihilations by the light of the knife to completely annihilate a body. This is also Luo Feng's kindness. The hole in the hole will not extinguish the light, cutting it again and again, giving the opponent enough time to use resurrection carrier. If it is a move like the Great Extinction style, it will destroy the God King who is too corrosive and whose physical body is too weak. In the second level, it is possible to be annihilated in one move, and there will be no time to reincarnate. After all, there is no need to be too ruthless just to compete for territory. What's more, Luo Feng has no plans to reveal the mass extinction style for the time being, and use his tyrannical body to perform it. Some ordinary moves are enough. Like the immortal light in the whole, it is also a fusion of the 5 branches, which is powerful enough. The Sea Demon God King is a body condensed by endless water, but a huge sword light cuts through it, and part of the water flow's divine power is instantly cut off. This makes the Sea Demon God King look horrified. With just one blow, my clone was destroyed. And I lost 20% of the divine power reserve. The Sea Demon God King was surprised. Although it was just an ordinary clone of him, Luo He only sent out a clone. Both are in the second level of the God King, and they also use their clones, so there is such a big difference. Puff sigh puff puff sigh. This spatula light is condensed from endless sword light. It has a terrifying energy reserve and has its own recovery ability. It is extremely fast and kills continuously. Is this sword light so terrifying? In the blink of an eye, the body of the Sea Demon King was completely annihilated. Yinyu, Luo He is too strong, retreat. The real body of the Sea Demon King was far away in the field, and the voice was still transmitted from afar. Puff. The illusory figure of God King Tianyi fled to a distance trillions of kilometers away the moment he was attacked. But the light of the sword chasing him caught up with the illusory body that passed by him again in a flash. Hoo. The illusory body of God King Tianyi flashed again and again, which was extremely strange. But that flash of sword light completely locked onto him and kept chasing him. Yinyu, retreat, this Luo He is too scary. God King Tianyi said in a message, I'll escape first. Huh. Immediately, the clone of God King Tianyi, which had lost more than half of its divine power reserve, disappeared completely in a flash, completely leaving the surrounding vast territory. Luo Feng's immortal light in the mixed whole could not find its target. If Tianyi God King takes the infinite origin Tao, and escapes from a long distance, the immortal light of the whole will not be able to lock it. The range covered by Luo Feng's world power is the range within which the immortal light of the Hun cave can hunt down. Brother Hai's clone was destroyed, and Tianyi's clone escaped. Silver Moon God King is actually his true body, and his huge true body is fighting against the terrifying light of the sword in front of him. This sword light can kill everything. Huge wounds were left on Yinyu's body again and again, eroding and destroying the body of Yinyu God King. But Silver Moon God King's wounds were healing quickly. This sword light. Lord Anshan stood there, and the sword light struck the black scales on his body, only causing 1 or 2 black scales to shatter, but they were restored in an instant. Black mist rose around Lord Anshan, trying to entangle the sword light. But the light of the sword moved much faster than the God King's. It was swift and unpredictable, cutting the body of the Dark Sky Lord crazily, with 1 or 2 scales breaking each time and then quickly healing. Now there are only 2 of you left. The 5 silver-clad Luo Feng looked at Lord Dark Sky and Silver Moon God King. Luo Feng also noticed the difference in strength. Lord Dark Sky is indeed the most terrifying existence of the Legion of Destruction. His own, 100-hole immortal light, is just tickling him. Silver Moon God King's strength is average, and he can't resist the immortal light of his own whole, but his body's vitality is extremely tenacious. Go. Luo Feng waved his hand. 5 jet black sword lights simultaneously attack the Silver Moon God King. 5 of them are besieging me. The Silver Moon God King's expression changed. He couldn't block the swift and strange light of the sword, so he could only resist. And get beaten by 5 swords. This Luo He is not to be trifled with. The Silver Moon God King gritted his teeth and instantly turned into a stream of light and penetrated into the void. Even though he was attacked by 5 swords and dozens of knives in an instant, and his hair and blood were sprinkled in the sky, the Silver Moon Wolf King remained the same. And was forced to escape. He doesn't wanted it anymore, he doesn't want the territory of the Food Kingdom anymore. He can't hold on to his territory with the neighbor god King Luo He. Lord Dark Sky, you are the only one left. The 5 silver-clad Luo Feng looked at the Silver Moon God King, smiled slightly, and all the 5 sword lights flew back and were taken into their bodies. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe. MTL World, at Mittel World 1 YouTube channel.